Hey sports fans, are you ready for an exhilarating gaming experience? Introducing VIPclub.lv, your ultimate online sportsbook and casino. VIPclub.lv offers a vast selection of sports, from football and basketball to tennis and baseball. Bet on your favorite teams and enjoy the thrill of the game. But that's not all. Our state-of-the-art online casino offers a dazzling array of games, including slots, blackjack, roulette, and live dealer tables. Win big with their fantastic promotions, rewards, and exclusive offers. Join VIPclub.lv today and get a generous 200% match welcome bonus to start your winning streak. And make sure to use code ECSI at sign-up. Bet it, win it, and cash it at VIPclub.lv. Visit VIPclub.lv now and play responsibly. VIPclub.lv, your sportsbook and casino extravaganza. Must be 21 or older to play. Please gamble responsibly. Visit gambleware.org for help.
Good morning. We're still good morning. Sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host. Actually, I am the co-host today, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. Monday, August 7, 2023. Hope everyone survived the weekend. If you're from the Pac-12, you probably didn't, as that will be a hot topic here. Blessed and honored to have good friend and colleague, Mr. Dave Sharapan, gracing us with his appearance today before his big 400th show with Matt Peralta at the BVB later today. Shout out to our new sponsor, VIPclub.lv. Always use ECSI at the checkout. Tell them JD sent you, and they'll take over from there. A lot to catch up with Mr. Sharapan. I don't know where to start, so I'll ask him. So without further ado, let's bring him in. The mayor of Las Vegas, the real Vegas Dave, Mr. Dave Sharapan.
Hello, Jeffrey.
Hello, sir. How are you?
First of all, good to see you. What do you got working on that chin? I mean, how many colors is in that beard down there? What are you doing?
I always liked the look when I was looking at my dad and looking at others. And the wife's like, why don't you just go to CVS and get that squeeze bottle and just put it? I'm not going to do it. I'm just letting nature take its course.
Just let nature take its course. It gets very itchy when you do it. We tried it years ago when we were trying to hold on to the hair and trying to pretend like these kids weren't aging us in dog years. And then, you end up like this, keeping it tight, high and tight, keeping it short. Yours is going back. You still got some up top, but let it just naturally. We're lucky. We made it through the wars. We've been through all the places. We've been to hell and back in a lot of ways in life, between the stories that we've shared, people that know you. You got to keep going. Just let it be now at this point. People respect you more if you just keep it real, because there's not a lot of real ones in life, not just in the gambling space. It's just one of those things that as you go further and further and further, people watching all over the place here, watching me on all of my outlets and social and all that other stuff. Can we swear, Jeff?
You can do whatever you want.
There's a lot of bullshit going on right now with a lot of people. And this is one of the realest places that I like coming and talking. And, we've shared a lot off the air. We'll share a little bit more today. I mean, you said you don't know where to start. I know you weren't expecting that. Okay. Can we start with college realignment? Can we start talking about what the hell just happened over the weekend? There was a Pac-12 4 days ago. There's no more Pac-12. There's 4 left. There's schools that played each other for 100 years. They're not going to play each other anymore after this year. You've been here. You've been to the games when Kylie was playing, my oldest. What do you tell the college athlete today, JD, that went to Arizona State to play a Pac-12 schedule in baseball, stayed home so their parents could see them play a majority of their games, either in Arizona or California, and going, Wait, what? We're in what conference now? Like, I'm not going to West Virginia to watch you play baseball. I can't. I'll go on one road trip, maybe the whole season. Can you believe this?
I can't. I don't. We know why. We know all about the money grab. We understand all about it. But I was listening this morning to our good friends Mitch and Paulie, and they brought up the Rose Bowl. And you and I know this. January 1st, you would get up in the morning. Now, me back east, a part of the ritual was the parade. You made sure that you watched the parade.
Yep.
Okay. And then we got a couple games in the afternoon to lead up 5 o'clock. The world stopped at 5 o'clock. Keith Jackson.
It's the only thing on. It's the only thing to watch.
Pac 12, Big Ten, UCLA versus Michigan, whatever it was, that led you up to the Orange Bowl. And that's the way it was forever. Handful of years back, the realignment starts talking, the super conferences. You, especially, we always talk about the money grab. It's out of control. I don't even know what to say. I don't.
I was just on with Ben Stevens on Sports Grid on the morning after, and he said this. And that's the other thing that I know I do. I know you like to do as well. I can't wait to give people credit for coming up with stuff and saying stuff, whether they're plays or whether they're comments or whatever. I can't wait to say whoever said this to me, and he said it, and I was like, that's a great way to say it. It's the professionalization of college sports. It is now officially a minor league for the NFL. I mean, it was always that amateurism and the special rivalries like Bedlam, the Apple Cup. There's a zillion of them. The Axe, the this, the that, all those things that are just not going to exist anymore. And the bowl system, how is the bowl system going to maintain its not even close to current status? What is it going to be relevant? It's not going to be relevant. Who is going to want to go to, the Liberty Bowl anymore? Well, there were teams that would say yes. Now they're like, we're good. They're not even going. And when the kids go, the kids that might have potential aren't playing. What is happening? Because they might risk their future earnings potential. I can't blame them because they're being treated like commodities. They should treat the school back like commodities. I think it's a fair thing. I'm just sad because I'm like you growing up in Pittsburgh. The Sugar Bowl in Pitt against Georgia changed my life. Watching that game and then them beating Herschel Walker and all of that stuff. Dan Marino, the Pac-Man was the thing across the graphic. I never forget it. I was 11 years old, 12 years old. I was like, this is the best thing ever. Then I end up going to Penn State. I've been to multiple bowl games. Went to the bowl game in San Diego, the Holiday Bowl. And I went to the Rose Bowl multiple times. I love those games. The tradition. That's what's important. Blew it all up for the TV money. I really hope it was worth it because I think the backlash they're going to have is just it's going to come, and they don't care. JY said it to me on Friday on the show with P-Roll on BVB, and I'll ask you: are they going to mess up this college basketball tournament? You're a basketball guy. There's not going to be any more NCAA tournament. I mean, seriously, this may be the last year that we know it as it is, ever. Look at your face. You don't even know what to say right now. I got you.
No, you did because you're right. The college basketball, what makes that so amazing is the number one seed in the tournament. A one never had beaten a 16. Well, it's happened now a couple times. the Cinderellas, the 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 first weekend madness where a 16 wins the first two games. I was with you a few years ago in Vegas as we're walking into the circa, and there's Jeffrey Benson with sweat dripping down. I need someone to take a 9. I need someone to take an 8.5. Why? Because you catch on to the Cinderellas of the world. Now in football, they're crying because 4 wasn't enough.
Right.
Then we need 8. Now we need 12.
Right.
It doesn't. So what do you want to see? A Alabama versus I don't know, a Colorado State, Alabama minus 27.
I don't want to see that, JD. Do you?
No.
How are they going to? I mean, forget that. We'll get back to the football. The Big 12 is going to be the best basketball conference. It kind of already is. Okay. I don't know how it helps the Big 10 taking in these schools out west and making that a basketball conference. But nobody's even talking about the ACC right now and what the ACC has meant to college basketball between Duke, North Carolina, and those schools. They're talking about it's an arms race right now. And if the Big 10 comes calling to North Carolina and Duke because they're going in pairs like Noah's Ark, nobody's taking one school at a time. You got to come with a partner, whether it's an in-state partner or a next to our state partner. And they're lining up. And all I thought when JY said it was, he said in 5 years, maximum. And we have our own timetable for stuff in 5 years. You and I are going to be hopefully retired somewhere, at least spending summers together at some ballpark or something somewhere in about 5 years. There's not going to be a college basketball tournament like this. They may play an elite school thing, and then the rest get to play the NIT. They may do that with the football. Nobody's talking about that. There may be a super conference something up for everybody to watch on TV, and then they'll play like a bracket style, like the division, FCS schools play, where they play home games. The higher seed gets a home game, and Montana ends up playing North Dakota State or whatever it ends up being. But I don't know. I'm beat up. I was sad about it. And then, half of Kylie's friends, they're playing in the Pac-12. She knows a lot of these girls. They were posted. Wait a sec. I came here to play in the Pac-12. Can I leave? Where am I going? Where do you go? There's only so many spots. So it really messed up. It really messed up college sports. And it's only been the weekend. I don't even know what to say after that.
Okay, so as these super conferences are getting realigned, and then everyone's chirping, they're all experts, of course, we know that.
Yes.
This school's thinking about going here. This school's thinking about here. I have to bring up UConn for a second because you talked about the Big East, and there was no better than in the 80s with Louis, with Rowley, with Georgetown. There was nothing better. And Saturdays watching just watching each other beat each other up. Syracuse, yada, yada, yada. Then UConn goes to the AAC. And then once they got there, they were doing it for football. They wanted to get their football program jump started, and they thought they'd dominate. They thought they'd dominate this league in basketball. Well, as soon as they got out, yeah, exactly. Now they wanted to run back and recreate the Big East. They come back. We know what happened last year. Now as all these are getting realigned, now they're talking about the Big 12 again. And can you imagine the basketball, with the Kansases, with the power, the Texas, whatever's going to be.
Uh-oh. You froze. I hope it's you, not me. If it's me, you're frozen.
Okay, I'm back.
That would have been very awkward if you froze on your show and I had to finish your show.
how can this happen where you're taking the leap of faith to propel one sport, but you're crushing the other sports
The
and
only
blowing up these leagues?
the only answer, and I got it from another dear friend, Behow. I talked to Behow over the weekend on Saturday, and he used to be an associate athletic director at West Virginia, and he's doing content now. And he said it's desperation. There's no money. They have to go wherever the money is. There's only a certain amount of money, and it's the football money. So they make the football decision and damn the rest of them. If they have to, they'll cut the sport. It's not. I don't think this is a good thing long term. I don't think this is going to solve anything. I think this is a stopgap solution. It's a last. the The iceberg has been hit. Okay, the Titanic is sinking, and they are all running for whatever boats they can to get off and stay alive, and that's what they're doing. Geography be damned. Rivalries be damned. All of it. None of it means anything. Go somewhere, get the money, get aligned, negotiate for a full share quicker or whatever that means. That's the other thing I learned this weekend from Behow. These conference shares are not equal. The only way to make it work, and this is another lesson for life, to make really family work, it's equal. No one's above anyone else. If we're all going to share together and make sure, like Lisi says, everybody eats, everybody is equal. We'll each do our job. You may not have to do what I do, and I can't do what you do, but together, if you do yours, like Belichick says, do your job. If you do your job, we'll all benefit. It's not doing it. This is the NIL did it for the individuals. And now this realignment is doing it for the teams in the schools. And it's only going to benefit the top 2%.
Sounds like the apps and the sports books.
I mean, since the last time we talked, there were books called Points Bet. There was a book called Fox Bet. There was a book called there was a few other ones. You see what's happening. It's funny because when the kids call you old and they tell you, boy, sometimes you're yelling at those clouds and nobody's listening. And you sit back and say, you see what's happening? Didn't I tell you this might have happened? Didn't I tell you this was going to go this way? We don't have to give anybody any attaboys. We don't. But you see the consolidation of sports books. It's happening before our eyes. And you got to state, this is your first football season. Are you inundated with ads and stuff there? Or has it cooled off?
No.
What are you making that face for? What?
No, because Massachusetts was supposed to be one of the villains in this whole process. They were the ones that were supposed to slow the ads down. They're still here. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't forget DraftKings. This is their home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to do something, which is fine. But I just found out about another one. Some movement at a place called Betfred. I don't know if you're familiar with them, with people watching or listening, but there's some tumult going on there as well. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I know the Super Bowl's here in February. I know this F1 race is here in November. I know that every time I leave the house and go anywhere near the strip, it's a nightmare traffic-wise. The city has changed its dynamic a lot. They're constantly doing this repaving thing to make this track, which is the street, which is the Las Vegas Strip, one of the busiest streets in the country, shut down. Literally shut down. So it's been July and we're into August. There's a lot of people coming to town for different things, namely a football contest, and they're coming in and signing up. So I have to get down there. If you lived here, I'd hire you to be my driver because I don't want to do it. It's so bad, JD. Um, it's the same thing with the apps. At what point can you have too many?
I'll be honest with you. Mass has 8 right now. It's going to end up with 11. All right, let's just do the math here. We have 3 casinos, 2 tracks, 8 live apps. Soon, it's going to top out at 11. You and I were born at night, not last night. Okay.
I love when you say that one. Yes.
If you're not the top 2 or 3, you are fighting for plankton. In other words, you cannot survive unless you're in multiple states and you will consider Massachusetts a lost leader. Hey, we're in 5, 6, 7 other states.
Right.
We'll take the hit in Mass because there's 11 apps, but we're thriving in the Midwest and we're hoping, we're waiting on California, Texas, and Florida. Florida's supposed to maybe reopen August 22nd.
Yeah. We'll see. That's a valid point. So you're familiar with the track where they're going to have the sports book, right? That one track, what's it called?
Raynham.
That's scheduled to open this fall.
That scheduled. We should have, reach out to our buddy Bill Spiros that you met a few weeks ago. He's really on top of that. Now, the funny thing is they were in front of the state a couple weeks ago. They were pulling, the way I understand it, one of the Carney sons that was on the head honcho list to be. They were trying to pull his name off for some reason, and so something happened, and now they were supposed to meet the state in 2 weeks, I think next week. So maybe some dirt or something came into that. By the way, I think we want to take this guy off.
I give Massachusetts a lot of credit. They are doing all of the right things to make sure that they don't get completely taken to the cleaners or have the wool pull over their eyes like a lot of states have. A lot of states made it like very welcoming, almost too much so for the operators. And the operators promised them the moon, and they didn't even give them Swiss cheese. Like, it's all coming to fruition now in some states. Yet Kentucky is opening up in September. It's nonstop in my feeds that Kentucky is going to be this state. You're in Massachusetts, first football season. A lot of people that I know, are talking about this being a certain thing. And I always look at the population numbers. Population of Massachusetts is what it is. It hasn't doubled in the past year, 2 years. The number of people that bet are what it is. You may push 1 or 2 people over into it, but you're going to lose 1 or 2 people that do it and go, why? I can't win. I don't want to do this. I'm bored. I'd rather just watch the game. I'd rather do something else, period. It happens all the time. So this net of gaining more business, it's all fallacy. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it with such a big year it feels like ahead of us with sports. NFL seems kind of wide open, especially the NFC. Major League Baseball, are you kidding me? The Baltimore Orioles are 1 game behind the Atlanta Braves for the best record in baseball. Tampa Bay Rays right there. There's no mention of Mets. The Yankees are hanging on. They're lurking. The Dodgers, of course, are great. I don't know who's going to win the NL Central, but it's going to be somebody different, most likely. Here come the Cubs all of a sudden. There's a lot of fun things going on. And then, oh, yeah, by the way, the defending Stanley Cup champions reside here in Vegas. You had a nice hockey year back there in Boston that ended not the way anyone thought it would, but we kind of did. If you're paying any attention, I'm just saying, if you're paying any attention to either you or me or some other people we know, kind of said it was going to be a rough sled for Boston and the Bruins, and it was. I don't know what this F1 race is going to bring here, other than right now it's bringing traffic and a lot of very high-priced merchandise. A hat is $80. I don't understand it. A T-shirt that has a racing team thing on it, $100. There's a lot of things going on here that I don't think is what they meant, but there's a lot of positives in the world of sports. I don't know if it's positive so much in the world of sports betting, JD.
No, you and I have been friends for a long, long time, and we've talked the track that we thought this was going. When I met with a good friend in 13 and 14 with the idea of East Coast sports investors, and the first words out of his mouth was, "Jeff, are you tough-skinned?" I said, "Yeah, of course." He goes, "All right, let's do it." And then January 1st, 2015, we launched publicly on social media. 3 years before PASPA in 18. And then the one thing that we didn't forecast or see was COVID. And COVID shut the world down for 18 months. Yeah. And corporate America in our lanes now says, well, you got us for 18 months. We're now going to get you guys. And as you talk about the prices of everything, you talk about corporate America wanted to get into our lanes. If they did it before COVID, they paid retail times 10. They lost their shirts. Now they're trying to make sure they're cut. The ESPNs, the athletics, the newspapers, no more box scores in LA and in New York. The newspaper is obsolete. So we're seeing it change before our eyes. Yep. You're talking about F1 in Vegas in November, and I'm reading last week that they're trying to charge the hotels. So in other words, if you're staying at the Bellagio and you have 5,000 guests, well, we're charging you $1,500 per guest because you're not going to be able to watch it just standing at the Bellagio. We're going to block it off.
Yeah, they're I didn't think it was possible, but they hustled Vegas. They got them. They said, we're putting up walls. And I said it on my other show, Cash Considerations. And then I said it to Matt as well on BVB. You guys are going to do what? You're running your race on this street that I can see every day from my business. But you want me to pay you for my capacity. What I'm doing in my business has nothing to do with what you're doing on your business. That's the way it used to be. Or you could come in with your hat in your hand and say, we're running this race. We'd like you to have as many people here to watch it as you could. For your trouble, can we agree to maybe, kick us a little something so we can market it together? Like, be a grown-up. Have a discussion. No. They waited until they did the race. They got approved. They waited until they started the repaving, and it killed the business for months on end. You can't go down there. Locals don't go down there. People are coming to Vegas and going, you've done the rides with me. You've walked it yourself. Okay. You can't take an hour and 30 minutes to go from Spring Mountain to Tropicana in a car. It's 2.2 miles. It's taking 90 minutes to go that route. It can't happen. So, yes, they're putting up walls. They're doing all kinds of stuff. I don't know, man. I can't believe that Vegas got hustled because Vegas usually does the hustling.
Hustling.
Yeah. They charge, everything's very expensive right now. I was down there signing people up. Me and Matt are doing this brigade proxy service. If you guys are watching the shows, watching JD, he's participated in this contest before. I've participated in this contest before. This in Westgate, You pick 5 games a week against the spread, or you do a survivor and try to pick one winner straight up for the whole season. Seems really easy. It only costs $1,000 an entry, but you can live anywhere and do it. You just have to live in Nevada to put the picks in. Matt and I live in Nevada. We're working with this other third-party people that we're going to put your picks in every week. So I go down to the Strip now or to downtown, not daily, but a lot. A bottle of water is $10 right now. If you go to the bar and you don't have a card or you're not playing, they're going to charge you $8.99 for a bottle of water that's 99 cents at the gas station. And they're getting it. They're getting it enough that they're going to keep doing it. Now, I don't know what the answer is, but I know I bring my own water and I drink it before I come in a casino. Eventually, I guess Vegas will get past that. They keep talking about this recession. It's coming. It's here. We're in the midst of it. I don't see it here. I really don't. Maybe this is their swan song. We started school today. Today was my 4th grader's first day of school. So we start school early. A lot of people aren't back to school until Labor Day. So I guess people are coming on vacation, JD, but I cannot believe how expensive. Vegas used to be a value trip, was it not? You used to come, like they used to say, on the arm. You got a place to stay. You got some food comps, and you came and you played. You saw a show. You did whatever you wanted. And you never felt like you were getting beaten over the head with fees, overpriced stuff. Everything was fair. It's anything but fair now, JD. Anything but fair.
And the funny thing is, you're going to survive the F1, and then it's a race to the Super Bowl. You have the Super Bowl. So then you're going to have Radio Row for a week.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the Super Bowl. And then is it in 1 or 2 years? 2 years that you're going to have the Final Four there as well?
Yeah, 2 years. This year coming up, it's in Phoenix. So we got a lot of things out in the Southwest. So we're already making plans to be there for that. I've never been to a Final Four. It's a short drive down there, and it's an excuse to go see my family that's there. So a lot of big events, a lot of big things happening. And
well, I'll be your wingman to make sure you make it to Phoenix. How's that?
Oh, for sure. That's fine. That would be fine. We can make that work. You can do an on-location ECSI in Phoenix. We can package it around some baseball games and some other stuff. Yeah, we got people there too. So do you want to talk about sports at all? Do you want to, like numbers and things like that? We got to talk. You're my baseball guy. The amount of people, and I'll go on a little rant here. We'll just keep it kind of brief, but that are talking about preseason football and the excitement of the NFL returning on August 7th, when we haven't seen anything other than hype videos and guys getting out of, uniforms and then other uniforms and all this other stuff, is mind-boggling to me. When you have baseball, a daily sport that you're getting pretty good effort from. Now, you don't know if the balls are juiced or not because you're seeing some absurd things happen offensively. But this is going to be one of the most fun back 50-game sprint to the end in baseball that we've had in a while. There's teams in it that maybe shouldn't be. There's teams in it that nobody thought would be. And people are talking about preseason football. Listen, you're a fantasy guy. I'm not besmirching the fantasy guys. You should be doing the work. But Jeffrey, how good is the baseball? Seriously. Are you done with it like a lot of people? Or are you just digging in?
Well, here's the funny, because you receive our emails daily.
Yeah.
We were a part of a December 26-5. We closed out December. We come out of January 12-2. We start February 11-0. We got Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl MVP 4-1. We got UConn at 16-1. We had the greatest 6-month stretch of 19 winning weeks, 3 losing weeks, and 3 pushes in the history of ECSI, which is 8.5 years right now. We get through the NBA championship. We get through the NHL. Congrats to Vegas. You worked the sports books for 20 years. The last 10 weeks, it doesn't matter if I have, as you like to say, Biff's Almanac. I could
Right.
have tomorrow's results in baseball, and I can't get any kind of traction. Whether it's a first five run line, whether it's team total, whether it's a full, it doesn't matter. And the funny, and this is where I'm going to lead into you, is I know my eyes are not lying to me. Shout out to Spank Odds, which you'll be a part of Bet Bash, which you can talk about.
Yep.
I've been using this for a year and a half now. It's Don Best on steroids. He's done an amazing job with this. And I'm going crazy. I talk to the ECSI family day to day. I'm like, guys, I don't know what the hell's going on. It looks like Chinese. It looks like Braille. Yesterday, a perfect example. Because I know my eyes aren't going bad. Who gave out the Liberty plus 5.5 and plus 180 on the money line versus the Las Vegas Aces, who's already been crowned the WNBA champs? The Liberty won by 40. By 40. And then we have a CFL game. Dog won outright. But yet, in our action parlay, we got the San Francisco Giants, who have won 30 more games than the Oakland A's, up 6-3. And then next thing you know, Ricky Henderson, Reggie Jackson, Vita Blue,
Whoa.
all come in, and the A's win 8-6. Thanks for playing.
The kids don't know who any of those A's are, by the way. Those are just the kids. Google those 3 names that JD just said. They're 3 of the greatest Oakland A's players of all time. Some of them, 2. I mean, Vita could because he's passed, but Ricky might be able to play right field for an inning or 2 right now, actually. Yeah, it's been. I love the baseball. I really, I love the baseball. Caesars put out World Series exactas.
Okay.
There's a lot of really good prices on some teams that I think can make a run. I mean, in the National League, you'd agree it's Atlanta and the Dodgers and everybody else, and the odds indicate as such. But the everybody else could win. The Phillies could win. The Giants could win. Is that the wife calling you right now?
No, that was Sports Map Radio.
Hey,
the GM himself, Mr. Pepe.
That's good. All right, we'll get you out of here in
No,
5
we're
minutes
good.
or 8 minutes.
We got
Gotta
12
call Pepe
minutes.
back.
That was yeah.
But the Phillies could win. I think the Giants could win. No, I'm talking at least get to the NLCS. I'm not talking the whole thing. I mean, at this point, you're just trying to put, East Coast sports investment. Like you're trying to get a position. That's what you're trying to do. Wait, did you take a picture of me?
Of course I did.
Okay, did you send it to Pepe?
I am right now.
All right. You want me to smile? You want me to take a picture? Smile?
You're good. You're good. You got this
All right.
here.
That's good. The American League is super interesting to me because odds makers are stubborn. They just won't believe that the Orioles are going to actually do anything. They won't allow them to actually. They're not the co-favorite. It's the Rays and it's the Texas Rangers. Either one of those teams could win it. Oh, yeah, by the way, did you see what happened in the Bronx all weekend? And the Houston Astros. They're probably going to win the division. That's what everybody keeps saying. Either way, winning that division and not having to play the 3-game series or getting the wild card and having to play the 3-game series is literally like Grand Canyon level apart. Like you don't want to be at the bottom on the donkey and it's sun's starting to set. You got to get out of that canyon. You don't want to play that 3-game series. So that's going to be a great race. I got to ask you, because you're there, what the hell's going on with your Red Sox?
He did it back-to-back years. Last year we were a year ahead of schedule, so we weren't buying in, and the team slowly collapsed. This year they used the thought process of Chris Sale, Garrett Willock, Tanner Houck, and Trevor Story all coming back. So therefore, there was their four acquisitions at the trade deadline. The team Verdugo and Cora are not seeing eye to eye. He showed up 2 hours late. He was benched again. Saturday was supposedly the low point. They came to the field yesterday ready. Everything was behind them, and they lost 13-1. They got swept by the Jays, who they had already started the year 7-0 against. So the Red Sox are done. You brought up the Orioles, and I thought Dylan Cease was the guy to get, and they came around the back end and grabbed Blackjack and Jack Flaherty. I talked to you a handful of weeks ago. Reds versus Orioles 7-game series, first 1-4 would have been must-watch TV. The Reds now have faded. You talk about the Cubs. What is it, 14 out of 17 or something, 13 out of 16. I don't see Rick Sutcliffe walking through that door, though. I don't see Kerry Wood. I don't see Mark Pryor on this pitching staff.
But the game's changed, right? Like
Correct.
we knew that. Like, and October baseball is different. It is. But baseball's different in general now. Like, I used to like betting unders. I really did. I don't anymore. It's a lot of aggravation. It's a lot of pain. And this Ghost Runner thing, as much as I like it, does not do us any justice in betting unders. And I really did used to like betting them. It's so hard now. So I still love the 1-0, 2-1 game more than 8-7. And that used to be reserved for just the regular season. A team like the Cubs may be able to swat their way into the NLCS by getting one really good tight pitched game and then winning 2 games in a 5-game series or whatever, winning 8-7 or 9-8 or something like that. It's different, man. Like that's the crazy part about all of this and about life, right? How it's you have to adapt or die. I've heard that expression more in the last week. You do have to adapt. You don't have to die. You have to keep breathing. That's what you got to do. You got to breathe every single day because you got these people lurking like a sheep a wolf in sheep's clothing telling you, yeah, we're friends. Yeah. And they're stabbing you in the back. They're bad rapping you when no one's looking. I veered off of path there, but I'm telling you, we're adapting. We're changing. But it would be nice to have like Sutcliffe come in for the Cubs. It would be okay. And know that we got somebody to hand the ball to in game 1. The Orioles, the same thing. I'm with you. I believe you. Like, but man, it's fun. I can't get enough of it. And you know, I'm on MLB Network once or twice a week doing that show. And it's allowed me to stay in touch with it even more. I'm doing stuff for the Pirates. I'm on the Pirate pregame show where, they want a prop. Everybody loves these props, JD. The kids love the props. I said, you know what? Sometimes just pick the side or total. It's way easier and it's way less juice. I don't want to lay 190 that he's going to get over a half a hit. I don't. I 1.5 bases is a lot sometimes. I don't want to do all that. So stick to what you know and be yourself and do who you are. And sometimes that's enough. For some people, it's not. Guess what? There's other people, right? Like these are the things I think about. My dad has been gone 10 years and I talk to him every day, think about him every day. I'm becoming him every day.
Mm-hmm.
just go find someone else that believes in you, that wants to be around you. You're not for everybody. So I don't know, man. That's all I got, I think, today. I mean, what else should we hit on before we get out of here? Should we talk about the bet bash?
Well, yes, I was just going to circle back for 1 second.
Yep.
Because not a lot of people are going to remember this. Obviously, we know the Phillies, their magical run in the playoffs. But I think people forget they were in the play-in game in St. Louis, about to lose. And in the top of the ninth, there was a misplay by the pitcher and the first baseman.
Correct.
To get the lead man on.
Right.
And they scored 4 runs. So if that play is made, they don't even get out of the play-in game.
Yeah,
but they parlayed that, no pun intended, to the World Series.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. That was the 3-game series. They were down. They were going to get eliminated. St. Louis was going to advance and then probably get crushed by Atlanta. And then the Phillies won that game, beat Atlanta, played the Padres, who beat the Dodgers, and then boom, we're in the World Series. And all those exacta tickets that I had were actually live, but I actually had to go bet Houston. I did. So we're going to do all that again, and we'll talk more about that before it comes.
Bet bash.
Bet bash. So a lot of professional bettors, and again, for those of you who are professional bettors, I mean no disrespect, but when you go to get a license to drive a car, you go to a place called the DMV. When you go to get a license to be a hairstylist or a barber or an esthetician, you go to barber school or beauty school or things like that. When you go to be a bartender, you go to bartender school. You go to be a dealer here in Vegas, you go to dealer school. I don't know what school you go to get a license to be a professional bettor, but they're all coming. And they're going to be here in Las Vegas at this Bet Bash. And I'm actually speaking on a panel with Darren Ravel, Jeffrey Benson, Rob Pizzola, and Joey Knish, and myself. Gambling Twitter, can't we all just get along? And I'm still calling it Twitter. I don't care what he does to it. I'm not saying X until I have to. So I'm calling it Twitter. The hell with it. But that's just one of the panels that are involved. It's people that bet, talking to other people who want to bet or want to learn more how to bet or just want to come out and drink in Vegas for 3 days with their buddies. Like, it's everything that is an anti-conference, stuffy environment that a lot of these betting conferences and panels are. There are a lot of nonsense. I've been to a couple. There are a lot of people talking about the business that aren't in the business. They have fancy titles, and they tell you about this and that and B2B, B2C, customer acquisition, customer retention, all the words in the ecosystem.
Wallets.
They're talking about one wallet now instead of just a sportsbook wallet, a horse racing wallet, and a casino wallet. They're combining the wallet like George Costanza had in Seinfeld, that big fat wallet. That's what they're doing. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. But Bet Bash will be here. I was getting texts this morning, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the big, finale Friday is the Billy Walters one-on-one interview with Spanky, then our panel, and then a sports gambling hall of fame, which again, I don't know how you qualify, but Spanky and some people vote. Spanky doesn't vote. He put together a pool of people to vote. They're going to put up people's names and plaques in the Circus Sportsbook. You wouldn't believe it. Where they kept the sheets on the right is now a big display. So it's going to be fun to see old friends. I love this time of year because people come to Vegas to either set up accounts, join a contest, whatever. And I get to see a lot of people that I haven't seen for a while, check on their kids, ask them about their relationships. What'd you do this summer for vacation? How's your health? All kinds of things like that. Way more important to me than, who's going to win the NFC South. Like, I'll talk about the divisions. AFC South, who's going to win? Is it going to be Jacksonville for real? Yeah. Jacksonville's going to go to the AFC Championship for real? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'd rather hear about, your second kid graduating high school. What are they going to do? So I'm different in that respect, but that's okay too. Sometimes it's okay to be different. So that's all I got, JD. I mean, we're right. We're hitting right at the mark. I think we covered. Did we cover enough?
We covered enough for now, but I'm not going to let you go. I know you already touched upon it,
Yep.
but I want you to close with, again, your proxy service, what you and Matt are doing to help anyone that will be out next week to the, I think Westgate has their, and Wager Talk has their thing. And then the following week, you guys will be at Circa. But tell them if they want to get involved in the Westgate, they want to get into concert, where to go.
So the text number for the Brigade Proxy Service is 702-570-8255. It's 702-570-8255. If you're coming to Vegas and you need a proxy, send a text to that number and we'll get it. We'll meet a time to either meet at Circa, meet at Westgate, sign you up, and get you out of there as quick as possible. Depending on what we're doing, I've stayed in BS. I've had lunch with people. I've met some incredible people already that just want to get involved in the action. It's awesome. I tell every one of them, I hope you win. And I genuinely mean it. I want nothing more for them to come back and I get to go down there and stand next to them while they hold this big check and then change their life. If they don't, we've made a connection. You have access to us every single week to send us your picks via text or email. We'll put you in, put them in, and we'll tell you that they're in. So it's been a lot of fun. And we just decided to do it because, one, we have the show, and two, we're here. So, there are other proxy services and they do a great job too. You're familiar with them. If you've used them in the past, keep them. If you're happy with them, keep them. It's okay. Like, I am not competing with anybody. I am trying my best to just continue to grow, expand the network, expand the people, and share in other people's lives as well, because I think we all have something to give. Right now, we're giving you the Brigade Proxy Service. Okay. And then, after that, BVB is on every day at Boston versus the book. That's the at symbol, Boston versus the book. Matt and I are doing that. We're trying to get to your neighborhood, like not actually to Cape, but really close by, to do a live show. I'm on Sports Grid for now, every day, Monday through Friday from 4 to 7 Pacific p.m., 7 to 10 p.m. Pacific. And cash considerations are starting back up. We got Newbie and Yanitsi back in the mix. The kids, they're rolling. Newbie's turning 30, moved to the West Coast. Yanitsi's 27 and in the NYC. And I'm the old man of the crew. I could be their dad. They should call me daddy, actually, like Pedro's used to say. They should call me daddy. But it's what we're doing. And that's the plan. That's all we got right now. We'll figure it out after that, JD.
And you got a busy, busy day ahead of you. We can't thank you enough. It's always good to get back here. Our buddy Dave Olson got a nice little picture of you up there, a nice caricature, and it's always fun to put it up.
It's fun.
There. Yes, it's always fun. So everyone, thank you for watching and listening. Can't thank you guys enough. At 5 o'clock, Riley Magnuson will be here with the closing bell. You can follow me at EC Sports Invest. Obviously, go follow Dave at Sportsbook Sig. Catch his work at Cash Considerations, at Bostonian versus the Book, which is coming up real soon. At night at Sports Grid and Sports Grid TV. For myself, Jeff Dawson, Mr. Sharapan, thank you guys. Have a great, great week. Thank you, Connor. Always great to see you. We'll all catch up real, real soon.